Hi, Jamie from Talking Sonics. I hope you're very well indeed. Well, after watching Rick Beato's recent videos, the man, the crazy old man yelling at clouds videos, which have become pretty popular. There's a lot of people talking about this, and it's talking about royalties and Spotify and, is music dead and all of these sorts of subjects about where the music industry is at. And I've done a lot of research recently, particularly into the idea of Spotify promotions and is this viable? Should you be doing it? Does it work from a business perspective? I've spoken to a lot of people, done a lot of research, read a lot of things, and found some pretty terrible answers. But, there's something to talk about here. So if you're a musician, do stick by me and have a listen to this, another old man yelling at clouds. But seriously, stick around. If you're looking for an entertainment video, however, with lots of other recording things, this ain't going to be one of them. So it was also a bit of a revelation for me when Rick recently interviewed music historian Ted Joyer. He had a lot of interesting things to say about Spotify and the music industry in general, talking about AI, the dangers of AI, where things are going. Now, if you see me looking across here, I've got quite a lot of notes, so I'm going to be referring to this. You're going to have to excuse me there. So Ted was talking about AI-produced songs and evidence to show that these were filling up Spotify and other platforms, effectively watering down royalty shares for musicians and creators and small labels, maybe large labels, but effectively watering down the money pit and, AI songs being pushed out, probably likely more frequently across Spotify, which is kind of a disgusting thing. It kind of sucks. There's many reasons why I'm starting to think Spotify sucks. As I was researching Spotify marketing and looking for any evidence of good financial deals that could be struck in terms of marketing your music and getting a dollar return on royalties, it's getting worse and worse and just kind of wasn't looking really viable. So I'd recently reached out to Andrew Southworthy, initially by a YouTube comment on his videos, and he runs Forbid Media, a music marketing company. I think he's one of the most intelligent people out there in this area. He shows a lot of data. It's very transparent. He's a trustworthy guy. I can see that. Him and his assistant, Wes, who contacted me. Now, I was particularly drawn to a YouTube video that he had on his channel called 160,000 Spotify streams in 6 weeks with Facebook ads. I'm reading over here that I'd commented on this and discussed how the spend was high, and it turned out to be around 2,000 Canadian dollars per week. Now, I commented on this and Andrew replied, "This song actually profited quite significantly. It's currently at around 8 million streams on Spotify alone, not including other platforms. They spent a ton of money, but they made it back super quick." Now, that's cool. That kind of got me excited to ask a few more questions, to which I started contacting Wes and Forbid Media and going through their sort of system of looking at what they offered. After discussing a campaign with Andrew's offsite of Wes, I found in their email comments that confirmed that Spotify song or playlist promotion is in fact a financial gamble. So after a positive case study email written to me describing their services, it was noted at the bottom of the email the fact that it read, "It's crucial to understand that these are exceptional results, not guaranteed for every campaign. However, this case study serves as a powerful example of how the potential for significant audience reach on Spotify when campaigns connect effectively. Effectively, for those that do reach big audiences, you can get some return on your money and things can compound in terms of audience growth, but you have to pile in a ton of money to get any return on investment." Forbid Media packages start at $3,000 US. Now, this is not a walk in the park for any indie musician. They take 40%, so there's a 60-40 split between 60% spent on Facebook meter advertising and then 40% for their creative work and placement. And they do a lot of A/B testing, and they really know their stuff here in this game. So I think they're pretty good at what they do, but it's a big spend to get in on this Spotify marketing game. But to make things even more confusing, if you start searching about Spotify marketing and how to get more plays on Spotify, either on YouTube or if you're searching Google, you're going to find hundreds of scoundrel companies vying to get your hard-earned dollar to guarantee you 20,000, 10,000, 50,000 or more Spotify streams. But warning, from what I can see, most of them are just basically running bots, or they're not telling you how they gain those streams. If they're bots, aka computer programs running the streams, or just fake computer systems running this, you're in trouble. Now, I'm not going to tell you why you're in trouble, but it's certainly not going to help your fan growth because they're bots, but it's also going to damage your reputation on Spotify. You could be banned. There are lots of reasons why you should be careful. Now, Andrew at 4Bid Media does explain on some of his YouTube videos that there is an alternative. You don't have to pay him for music marketing. You can subscribe to a product called hypedit.com. And I've had a look at this. It's pretty good. It's effectively a WYSIWYG sort of programmable way of running Facebook meter advertising to promote your song links. So linking to whichever platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, all the others. Basically, it promotes your song link page. They can also run Spotify playlist promotions. It creates a bunch of ads. These go out to different tiered audiences, and you sort of set up your sort of daily spend and away you go. So that's linked to your own Facebook or Meta advertising account, and there you go. However, this is where things get even more ugly, if you ask me, and it relates to the completely non-transparent, crass, bullshit way that Facebook is running their ads and offer their services. It's kind of a joke. For example, a single click through to your song to a tier 1 country could cost as much as 60 cents per listener. So it's no wonder 4Bid Media requests a starting budget of at least $3,000 US. I can kind of understand that. I'm reading here my notes. Now, without decent dollars, you really can't make a dent in this overcrowded marketplace. I've also noted that, let's go back here and let's think about maybe 5-10 years ago with Facebook, what was going on? But firstly, let's talk about CPM. CPM is an advertising term. It means cost per milli or cost per 1,000 ad displays. Fairly common term in the advertising game. But there is also a publishing website that helps to promote media and media organizations. That's called Outbrain, and they do AI-assisted published promotions as well. Outbrain explain on their website that the average CPM with Google display advertising comes in 2024 at $38.40, which is roughly 3 cents per ad display, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than Meta. But let's step back a little bit here with Facebook. Before it was Meta, when it was Facebook advertising, everyone started to have Facebook pages. You had to have Facebook pages. Everyone had their Facebook page, and what's the next thing? You need to grow your audience on Facebook. Everyone wanted to do that because, hell, we can just put up our ads, we can put up our products, we can share with the world and share with our direct customers what we're doing in our shop or in our music business or what song we're releasing, and away you go. So the important thing here was growing your page likes. Of course, what was Facebook doing at the time? They were pushing out the fact that you should be paying to gain more likes of your page so that you can reach more audiences. But then they go and change the algorithms straight after everyone spent the last 3, 4, 5 years emptying their wallets to grow their page likes. Now, I did a bit of research to try and work out organically what happens now. Organically in 2024, how many people from posts on your page will actually see your page after these Google or Meta algorithm changes. Now, one independent source I found here online explained the average organic reach is 3 to 5%. So if you have 1,000 people looking at your page, only 30 to 50 people will see your post unless it's boosted. So now Facebook is saying, hey, boost that post, boost this post, keep paying, keep tipping in money. So you've paid to gain the audience, then they take it away from you, and now they're charging you or wanted you to advertise and pay to push out your post to the audience you already paid for. So Facebook wants you to now pay for every post you publish through advertising to reach your audience, which is just completely idiotic. Now, I went and looked at another organization for some more data. I had a read from a company called Hootsuite, who published on their website that Facebook this year are looking to earn a revenue of around $170 billion in 2024, so $170 billion in advertising. And that the average click-through percentage of a Facebook ad displayed is around 1.4%. Now, this is just a complete joke for like some company that knows everything about what you love and what you do and tracks every movement you make online, humanly possible, everything they can follow on your behavior, yet they can't target their advertising properly. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, and to put the nail in the coffin, Hootsuite explained that the average Facebook page now only has engagement of around 0.7%. Now, this is not because you're unpopular. This is because Facebook have dwindled down the reach of your posts to your Facebook fans to only 5% of your viewers. Think about that. Not only is this a totally unreasonable way to treat their audience, but Facebook Meta are now running campaigns where they just quote estimates of audience for the money you spend. So, you know, I spend $500 in a campaign and they say, oh, well, we estimate that you're going to have 3,000 people to maybe 8,000 people see your ad. Like, is this not a digital company? It's like going to the supermarket where you pick up 10 apples in your bag, you go to the cashier, she weighs it, you pay for your 10 apples, and then she says, I estimate I'm going to give you 6 apples to take home. Totally ridiculous. So, as an example today, I did a test, I did a boosted post, I put in a campaign budget of $100 to run for 7 days. It came back with a result saying that the estimate was 1.6 thousand viewers to between 1.6 and 3.6 viewers. Now, this is a digital company with 5 billion users daily. Can they not be more specific? Can they not just target the audience and display your ads to an exact amount of audience members? I don't see why not. So let's just say Facebook managed to boost my music post and reach 2,000 people a day. So 14,000 displays over 7 days. That's a CPM of $7.14, which looks good, right? Compared to, say, Google. But is it better than Google's CPM? But the real audience deliverables are actually much, much less. Now, think about the campaign finishing, you go through and you look at the statistics, you look at the metrics, and you kind of come at the fact that the click-through rate on your ads, any interaction, making a comment, watching your video, whatever it is, the actual click-through rate is 1.5%. That's about the average of what you're probably going to achieve, particularly in the music genre. So out of your 14,000 ad displays, the amount of people that actually engaged or stopped to even notice your post is around 196 people. And for those that actually acted on something and went the next step to watch your video or to buy from you or really connect, do something here, that's About 3 people. So the more I think about it, the more crazy it is just lining up to line the pockets of Facebook Meter. Not a good idea. So is there an alternative? Is there something else again? So, well, a good friend of mine suggested the Australian Spotify marketing company called Playlist Pump PR. Now, these guys claim that they can trigger the Spotify algorithm, the Discover Weekly algorithm, therefore getting your streams moving, and at a starting package of $1,000 plus GST for Australians, so plus 10% on top for Australians, you can get around at least 20,000 streams. Now, apart from GST being charged on the converted amount of the US dollar amount on the day it's invoiced and then recalculated and invoiced from an American account back to Australia. Hang on, I'm confused already. Either way, it's not cheap, doesn't work out to be fun, and my accountant would hate it. I asked, look, guys, how does this work? I mean, how do you achieve these sort of numbers? There's no advertising campaign involved, so how do we get the audience? And they said, well, it's proprietary software. We can't really explain how our product worked. If we told you how to do it, then everyone else would do it. The other thing I was told, a little nugget of information, was that their founder had business associations with Spotify. So what does that mean? They're in pockets with each other? They're doing deals? I don't know. So kind of seems a bit fishy to me. So I thought, well, it's one of two things. One, they're actually another service running bots, which is pretty uncool. Or number two, they're literally just doing deals with Spotify to pay Spotify to put songs onto the Discover Weekly and get the streams that way. So it's a very fast way and a very easy business model for them just to take your money and hand half of it to Spotify and keep half of themselves, I guess. By the way, if I'm getting 20,000 Spotify streams with Playlist Pump PR agency, well, shouldn't I be ready to collect my royalties on that? I mean, that's legit, right? Well, I was told, no, you can't. The deal is you won't be paid royalties on those 20,000 streams. So I smell a rat. So what about organic views on YouTube? Well, my very good friend Dave Amphlett, drummer who played on the last video you might have seen, he's working with me on a number of tracks. Well, he plays in a fantastic band called the Trans-Pacific, working with his mate Jace over in USA, and he's here on the Gold Coast. They come together for recordings both here and overseas, and then go back to their other parts of the Pacific or either side of the Pacific and do their releases digitally, and somehow it all comes together, but it's working really well for them. But they're concentrating only on YouTube views, and I think this is a really smart way to go. Why? Simple business deal. YouTube pays more than double the amount in royalties, so that's 0.008 cents, and Spotify is around 0.003, so more than double. Still doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're getting millions of streams and you've built your audience and they keep coming back and keep playing your thing, financially it's a much better deal to be dealing with YouTube. So here we are on this platform. Thumbs up so far. Well, the incredible singer, songwriter, brilliant guitarist and YouTuber Mary Spender did something really interesting over the last 12 months. She held off from releasing her album Super Sexy Heartbreak from releasing on Spotify. Instead, she released one song per month over 12 months on Spotify, but she made hard copies and she pre-sold hard copies in cassette, I believe CD and vinyl, which is a hell of a lot of fun. And she really put some value to her work. And of course, those that put up their hand and paid their sort of $50 or so to get her package and get her personally signed letter in the mail with those hard copy music records or cassettes or whatever it was that they ordered, they got to hear the music first, and it's highly valued. And she's working on the principle of the 1,000 true fans, and it worked for her. It allowed her to fund her record, and she's going to do that into the future. It's only just now, about a year later, that the full album is released to Spotify and all streaming platforms. So she looked after her true fans, and I think that's a fantastic idea. Brilliant marketing, brilliant business move. Go, Mary. Totally cool. Now back to lovely Rick Beato for a moment. He said something really interesting this week, and that was the quote that AI can write 10 songs for you, but it doesn't have the ability to develop taste. I thought that was such a true comment. I mean, if you've ever used ChatGPT or listened to any AI, no, I don't think it's got any chance of developing taste or any human touch anytime soon. Rick, if you're watching this, your son talking about being able to hear AI songs immediately and pick up on that. I think I can too. I think there's something in the voice and something in the tonality of things where it's sort of like pixels, or not like pixels, but it's like, samples of sound, sonics all kind of glued together in a sort of a broken up, clunky sort of mess. It sounds bitsy to me. So I don't think AI is there. It might improve in the future. We will see. It could get scary, but I don't think the human touch is going to be lost anytime soon. Now, another YouTuber, Damien Keys, you might have seen his videos. He had a bit of a rant maybe a week ago about the silly comment from Spotify CEO Daniel Ek. Bit of an unfortunate name. Anyway, Daniel is now famous for saying the quote, "The cost of creating content is now close to zero. So ignoring the 20, 30 years people spend and invest in learning their instrument and learning to buy what equipment, how to use it, saving their dollars, doing their thing, learning production, courses, experimentation, songwriting, time, effort, heart and soul, the grit." Really a stupid comment that Daniel made. I think he knows it's stupid. Maybe it was kind of a bit off the cuff. I guess it's sort of a one-dimensional thought. But Damien Keys has come back this week, kind of backpedaling a little bit. And I'm thinking, Damien, why bother? Like, why bother backpedal? I mean, Spotify's in trouble. They're trying to play these games. They're introducing AI songs, assuming that that's really what's going on. They're introducing AI to water down things. They won't pay royalties to musicians unless their song has clicked over the 1,000 streams. So, if you're not in that bracket, you're getting nothing. I mean, they're just finding ways to keep money in the kitty, because really, obviously, advertising is not selling. People are not subscribing. The whole thing is devaluing music. I agree with the other comments from Rick and other people saying that music has been completely devalued. Spotify has kind of destroyed that. Nearly every song is available free, any genre. It's just there. There's just, yes, when I was young, I bought records and CDs and all of those things, the physical object. And, where does this all end? Well, yes, we can concentrate on growing YouTube. I think that's a better idea. That's ultimately one thing. So all of this got me thinking, what is this all about? Where is our true joy, our passion? Where do we feel respected? What makes us live and breathe? What gets us excited about being a musician or a producer? And I thought, well, if you're a musician, is the pinnacle actually playing to large audiences? Is it selling lots of CDs? Is it seeing stream counts on a data report? Is that what kind of tickles your fancy? Well, some live gigs I've done in the past have been fantastic, doing video clips, the creative things, but really the pinnacle for me is writing a song, being given this gift that seems to come out of nowhere, like some god's handed you this silver platter, and the melody, the lyrics, the song concept, and the chord progression, it all kind of flows into your brain and out of your fingers and out of your voice in one moment. And then being able to get in a room with some great musicians like Dave and Rob who play with me and see that come together and feel that happen in the room, and in particular recording that in a room, or just putting a song together yourself, layering up things and pulling in different instruments and sounds, percussion, keyboards, drums, guitar, and hearing something that was, previously just an idea, a speck of a thought, come together in a fantastic way. For me, that's the pinnacle, the creativity, and that's what we strive for. I think that's the end goal. We're human. We want to make our mark on the planet. And Mary Spender, I think you're really on the money here. Physical objects that can stick around, that can be family heirlooms, that could be shared, put in a museum, passed around, that can stand the test of time. I think like records are fantastic. I mean, I'm thinking now about the Voyager 1 spacecraft with its gold record out there at the edge or just passing our solar system now. It's just quite amazing. I think that's legacy, that's human, that's mankind. That's always going to be there, I hope. And compare that to Spotify. What happens when it goes belly up? I think all the songs are going to be deleted off some giant hard drive somewhere and it's all over. That's it. Think about it.